Facebook Live. It is Mike and Dooley. We are here, and tonight's special, and not just because Mike and I are back together, but we have celebrities with us, and they are live hanging out with old Mickey Mouse in Orlando, Florida. The two guys you see with us tonight are part of Vertical Worship, and so we're honored to have you guys here with us tonight and get to talk to you a little bit and just kind of get to know you guys and give you a chance to, you get to talk about yourself and brag about yourself a little bit. Is that okay? And talk about your album a little bit, and we want to get to know you. And so we're just going to ask you a bunch of really stupid questions. Is that okay?
Whoa. They're not stupid questions.
Stupid question. Yeah.
You're used to stupid questions? I mean, I'm not Dan Rather here. I'm like a redneck pastor from North Carolina. Who we are. So,
but you're a good redneck. Well, now you can't say that. You're a redneck pastor from North Carolina in Texas.
In Texas.
Yeah. So it's a little different now. But take it away, Professor Dooley.
Well, guys, go ahead and introduce yourselves and kind of where you're from and a little bit of your background if you want to. It'd be great.
I insist that you do.
Wow,
this.
look at that. So
first, no, you first.
Yeah, age before beauty. So my name is Andy Rosier. I am one of the worship pastors at the church in Chicago that Vertical Worship is based in. It's called Harvest Bible Chapel. It's a 30-year-old church, and I came on staff 2001. And then to my right, your left, this is Jake Franz. Jake's also one of our worship pastors and has been on staff with us for
almost 3 years.
3 years. So we, as well as being part of Vertical Worship, look after, with a few other guys, the worship ministry at our church in Chicago. We have 7 campuses.
Wow.
Ton of services every weekend. So the songs that you hear in Vertical are songs that we're writing for our church. We find that really important. We have a little saying, home is the prize, home is the prize. So so what we do in Vertical is the extension of what we're doing at Harvest in Chicago. And we like it that way around.
So is it very similar to what Elevation Worship does with their church and then their band? Is it a very similar setup?
Yeah, it's similar setup. Those guys, we were just out with them actually on Outcry, and we're kind of pretty much in the same boat.
Yeah, we definitely saw the similarities of, they're writing their songs for their church. Their senior pastor is super involved, just like ours is, really cares about the worship ministry. And, our number one priority is those weekend services and making sure that they're running, making sure that our church is staying a worshiping church. And that is the center of it all.
Yeah. No, James McDonald is y'all's pastor, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Very cool. That guy is incredible.
Yes.
Absolutely incredible. I don't think a lot of people know he's got a massive church planning program that comes through his church. Isn't that right?
Yeah, correct. So it used to be called Harvest Bible Fellowship.
Okay.
And then as of about a year ago, what we decided to do was kind of let the strongest church planters kind of plant their own churches, which is kind of how it should be, right? Like
multiplication.
It's not like our kingdom we're building. So we have to be careful not to become territorial about it. And I like that he's very forward thinking about that. So now those guys, we're still kind of training pastors and planting our own churches, but we've let a lot of guys spread out to kind of do their vision for church planting across North America and the world, really.
Yeah, totally. And then we bring in a handful of worship leaders and worship interns during the summer, and are trying to train them up, and kind of help other pastors that we know connect with them at the same time, to get those church plants and those pastors that we're training up hooked up with a worship leader as well. Really care about that as well.
You were on the Outcry tour, correct?
Correct.
We were.
because I went to see that in Greenville.
Oh, that was such a
Nice.
fun night.
Yeah.
It was, and I've never. Well, Jeremy Dooley left. I guess Jeremy didn't. I guess he didn't want to hear this story. He gets mad when I
Like
start.
that outcry story
Yeah,
again.
yeah, I'm out.
He's like, yeah, that was funny.
I don't know
wanna
what happened. My computer just kind of went out. I don't know what's going on.
No, but I think Andy said you didn't want to hear the outcry story again, but that you
I've
just
heard it before.
just cut off. But what I was going to say was I've never been to a concert like that before, and it was pretty overwhelming. I mean, it was pretty emotional. I was surprised.
Yeah. We I stood side stage every single night.
Really?
Like there was no like retreating to the green room. It was a worship event, and honestly, I want to give credit to the guys who are behind Outcry.
Yeah.
Ryan Romeo, a bunch of guys there who that vision isn't just like on stage, but it's backstage as well. It's all in the DNA of Outcry. There was a lot of worship happening every night before we even got onto the stage.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And
So
that was going to be my question. What is it like to be with all of those bands and you all have the same objective? You all come from different churches and different backgrounds. And ultimately, you've got this massive concert where you're trying to lead people to the throne, basically.
Yeah.
Really, your own unique way. And at the same time, for how many weeks that concert goes on, do you guys get to like pick the brain of some of these other musicians and songwriters? And do they influence how you guys might write worship songs where you're at? Or, I mean, what is that like? Talk a little bit about maybe that.
it's really fascinating because everybody honestly walks in kind of with a bit of an assumption of what they think the other team is like. And I think that's just human nature. And everybody becomes friends really fast. And everybody, like I sat on a Q&A every night that we did where people who come early get to ask questions about ministry. And so you're hearing answers from Vertical, from Bethel, from Elevation, from Mosaic. And it was really beautiful to see how people take different approaches to the same situation, but trying to achieve the same outcome. Which is we're trying to build the church. We're trying to build the church. So there's no. What I loved really is just about the whole thing is there's no egos. There's no just like fight. There's no clamoring over each other. It was all just everybody kind of like being a champion for each other. It's
that's what
wasn't it though? I don't know how many spots you did. How many concerts? How many stops were there in the tour, roughly?
16?
16.
Yeah, around there. Something like that.
Was that emotionally, it must have been hard every concert. I mean, that must have been some experience to go through emotionally, religiously. I mean, that must have been a little bit overwhelming, I would take it.
Yeah, I mean, I think, one of the things for me, anytime that we go out on the road, is just getting in your routine throughout the day and just kind of living in that routine. It's whenever you kind of just like let yourself get busy and you stay up too late and you eat bad and you do all that kind of stuff that you just start feeling like a little bit physically and even emotionally and spiritually unhealthy.
It sounds like ministry. Oh, he's not talking about just food though. Okay, sorry. Keep going.
Exactly.
My bad.
But also a big part of it for us, I mean, we spend a lot of time making sure that our own team is healthy. And whenever that is healthy, everything else is healthy.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
We like to say that like
Pause. You there?
There he is. Okay, sorry. We lost.
Say that again.
Say it again.
No, I was just saying, like, we like to say that, like, when the root is good, the fruit is good.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So
That's deep. I'm feeling that. Hold pause.
I'm writing that down. Can I use that?
if the root is good in the ground, then the fruit is going to be good on the tree. So
Yeah.
I like that. How did y'all get hooked up with the Outcry Tour? Did they just reach out to a bunch of church bands that are from churches?
No, we're part of kind of like a big family that they're all like all those bands are connected with. So, which is great because then it kind of starts as a family kind of experience.
The relationship's already there.
Yeah,
which is huge.
That's cool.
I got you.
Let me ask a super serious question that I've always wanted to know, and it's deep and it's super spiritual. Don't smirk because you don't know what I'm coming with.
Yeah.
All right. So all these worship bands, give me the over/under of skinny jeans that was worn during this week, or these 17 shows.
Where did that?
Was there an abundance of skinny jean wearage?
Yeah, I would say 90%.
Okay.
With the other 10% being Mosaic, and they are too cool for skinny jeans.
Ooh.
What are they wearing then?
Yeah, you're too cool for skinny jeans. What do you wear?
The LA dress culture is very
different.
90s.
Yeah.
Are they rocking man capris in LA? Is that what we're saying?
Right, yeah. Tracksuits.
Oh, no. So I have this theory. That God gifts people, obviously, for many different things. And he obviously has gifted y'all to lead worship. But I think he creates the worship minister like body type. That student pastors, I'm built like a barrel, man. I couldn't rock skinny jeans. I look like someone painted them on very awkwardly. But worship pastors have this cool way of pulling off the skinny jeans. I don't know what it is. I got lost in that. I think God just said, "Nah, fat boy, you're going to wear jeans and t-shirts the rest of your life." That's all it is.
Hey, but it works. It works for you.
But it works for me. All right. Well, beyond skinny jeans, talk to us a little bit about this Planatarium EP that you guys came out with. In fact, my kids, we were just driving back to the house, and we were playing this album. And so, talk to us a little bit about this album, just the heart behind it, about the Planatarium, just whatever you want to. Go ahead.
Yeah, totally. So the 6 songs that are on the EP are all just kind of new expressions or new versions of songs from our latest record, Bright Faith Bold Future. And to be honest, we went into this project just trying to record a couple videos and at this planetarium in Chicago. And we were just so happy with kind of what was coming out as we were doing it. We were just like, why don't we just make it into an EP? So we took all the audio from the songs and mastered it and mixed it and made it into an EP. But it's just something really cool. I don't know if you've seen any of the videos on YouTube, but sorry, we're getting like sprinkled on or something. But the visuals, just showing the magnitude of who God is. I mean, especially in some of these songs, like Overall I Know. You are the one above it all. I stand in awe. You're the God over all I know. Match that with a 360-degree view of the Milky Way behind you as you're singing it. It's just something special.
I saw some of the videos on YouTube today, and it was amazing how I've never seen that in a music video before. Why'd you go to the Planetarium? Just so it was something different?
Yeah, Chicago is one of the best summertime cities on the planet, for sure. And we have this huge museum campus downtown on the lake. And so the planetarium's been down there since the 70s. And we've seen some different videos of it. I think Eddie Hoagland, who's one of our guys in the band, kind of runs the band in terms of management, kind of from our church, had seen some videos that were shot there at the Planetarium and thought, man, this would be a great place to do a music video as well. And it really was. I mean, it's funny when you walk in and the lights are all on, you're like, wow, this is kind of weird. It's like it's just a weird room, really, right? And some old projectors in there, but once they get going and all the lights go out, you're kind of standing there with your mouth open,
Was it like playing music in space a little bit?
Yeah.
But it was neat. But it was neat though, because it was something different. And I'm guessing it went in line with, I read a quote by somebody in the band today that said something about not looking backwards, looking forwards. And it sounded like that kind of tied into the Planatarium and the whole theme of the album.
Totally. I mean, I think that the idea of, I mean, this might sound a little cheesy, but the idea of space and the idea of something unknown also gives this simultaneous feeling of hope, because there's, far more, beyond what we could imagine in our galaxy. And also, gone through a lot of different amazing seasons of the band, and we're in a new one right now. And, there's a lot to be looking forward to in our own lives personally, in the life of our church. That was a huge inspiration for it as well. But also just like, the Lord's doing a new thing.
Yeah. So you're talking about some new stuff going on with the band. I mean, can you talk about that? Like, what are some of the new things going on with you guys? Or is it just new album, new season? Is that kind of what's...
Yeah, new albums I think albums kind of behave as like mile markers a little bit. You kind of get to look back over the faithfulness of God in a season, but also kind of put that mark in the ground and say, okay, God. And I think like in our this record's our 5th record. And I would say for probably the first 3, those mile markers were like, wow, look at what God has done. Mm-hmm. And then once we hit Frontiers, which was the album before this, I mean, that whole concept of like, I'm looking out across the frontiers. And now the title of this record, Bright Faith, Bold Future. Like, I think we're just trying to use the platform that we have to bring what we know to be, God has a destination in mind. God has written the story. God has won the day. But the world is falling apart and at war, with itself, and social issues, humanitarian issues, political issues. And what we're saying, kind of stepping into this, is kind of like, right, but we know the story. We know what is happening in this. And, in the world's eye, it's a very small voice just to be vertical worship. But to the people that we get to worship with, we're saying with these records, hey, we're looking to the future, and we're looking to a brighter future because we have God on our side. Yeah.
Well, and let's face it, if someone were to watch the news for 12 minutes, not even long, you can get bogged down with all of the stuff that's going on. And it's not just in our country. I mean, it's worldwide, all of the things that are going on all over the world. And I think it's really cool as Christians that, sometimes we, again, need a reminder, like you're talking about being in that planetarium and you're getting this idea to kind of lead worship in a place that emulates what all God has created. And it's kind of, we need the reminder from time to time, the same God that created all of that we see, all of what we can't see, that we sometimes forget that God is still in control of the present day chaos that we're in right now. And there's so many times that, we think, oh my goodness, what are we going to do? And I think the whole time God sometimes is looking at us going, I've got it. I've always had it.
Totally.
And so, something y'all's music does is kind of brings people to that place where they can be reminded that there is a God who's fully under control and has never lost that control at any time. So I think that's really cool. I think that whole thing kind of ties together beautifully. Like you needed my opinion on that, but I just thought I'd ask.
You're right.
That was so true. What you just, very deep too, Pastor Dooley, very, very, very deep. But we live in a society too where we want to control everything. We try to control everything, and that's just not how it works. But it seems like as generations go by, we try to control things more and more and more and more. And when I went to that Outcry concert, and saw all those bands singing, it was amazing to me how many of the fans were touched emotionally, spiritually. I mean, it was like a revival. People had their hands up in the air. And I mean, you could tell that the music that you're singing and what you're saying in your songs is really having a deep impact on people. And that must be an amazing feeling for y'all.
I mean, just to see what the Lord is, doing based out of it's just based out of what we're trying to do in our church in Chicago. We're trying to write songs that haven't been written, and just give the Lord, new offerings and new offerings and new offerings, and then let him, Andi says a lot, just put the wind in the sails of those songs and let him do the work.
Yeah. And we've heard other people talk about this in the past, that lead worship is, I mean, do you find yourself each album, it like a direct reflection of where you are spiritually in that moment? Is that the same with you guys? Is that you're kind of writing from a place of honesty? Here's where I'm at spiritually right now, or here's where we are collectively as a band. I mean, do you find that you talked about albums being mile markers? I mean, do you find that being the case, that each album is a real reflection of where you are spiritually at that time?
Yeah, I think especially like we talked about, kind of like our pastor is pretty involved. Like his fingerprint is on every song that we release as a church, even though he wouldn't want his name on the inlay. That says a lot about his character. And I think the songs, when I look back across the records, they reflect a lot about what the Lord was teaching in our church through our pastor, through his word at that time. It's interesting to look back across kind of like The Rock Won't Move, a song like that, and just be kind of like, I remember like the season that song came out of, I remember.
Well, wait, you there? You're there.
Yeah,
we're here. Hey, let me ask you this, Andi. You have a very unique Chicagoan accent. So I never quite heard it. So what was your journey to the church in Chicago? How did you make it here?
Yeah, there? I was born around.
Oh, he was born
and came out in. I'm really going to date myself, but it was 1999. I came out to visit a friend in Chicago who was working out here for a summer job, and he was going to Harvest, the church that I work at now, and I kind of made some connections and came back the following year with some friends, and then came back the following year. And then before I know it, I was like sitting around a table getting asked a ton of questions by some pastors, and that was an interview. And then I stayed. I got married out here, so I have 4 boys at home, and
wow.
Yeah, this is home now.
So you've been there for 15, 18 years?
Yeah, since 2001. Yeah.
And then Andi, Jake, you said you've been there for 2-3 years?
Yep.
And then just speak real quickly. Mention there's 3 other people in the band?
We've got 3 other worship leaders that lead with us regularly, and then a handful of band members as well.
Okay.
Oh, 3 other worship leaders. I got you. By the way, I thought when we were talking with Chris Brown at Elevation Worship, he was saying that it's amazing to him that he just sings the songs in church, and it feels wonderful. Everything else that's happening is an ancillary benefit, the concerts, the tours, the notoriety. He said that he just sings because he loves worshiping the Lord, and that's how he does it. And I'm assuming it's the same for y'all.
Yeah, that's a good way to say it. Like we've been saying, we're just like church, getting on Planning Center, making sure volunteers are scheduled, making sure worship leaders are scheduled across 7 campuses, and then you have days like this where like we get to go lead worship, with a bunch of other worship leaders at this conference, and you're just like, wow, like, beyond what we've worked for, we're just church people.
It's funny to hear, because being in ministry, it's funny to hear you guys talk about Planning Center. You know, because if you work in a church and you know what planning center is, you don't think about guys like, you know, vertical worship talking about having to shoot all their stuff out to planning center to all their people to lay out the next week's worship. That's just you're real people.
There it is. The one game I have on my phone, planning.
Yeah.
So, Jake, where are you from originally, man?
Me?
No, yeah. Well, actually, yeah. You got. Where are you from originally? It got kind of messed up when you were talking.
Got a little garbled up.
Oh, sorry.
I'm originally from London, England.
And I'm originally from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Pittsburgh.
So have you adopted Chicago in the sense of let's ask another real get to the nitty gritty kind of question. Are you Cubs fans?
No.
I am.
I am not.
Whoa. Are you a Pirate fan?
I am a Pirates fan. I'll be a Bulls fan because Pittsburgh doesn't have a basketball team, but that's it.
All right. Dooley's a big Cubs fan, so I knew that question was coming.
I named my oldest son after Ryan Sandberg. You know who Ryan Sandberg is?
Oh yeah.
I wish I was making that up, and I wish I was making this up a whole lot more on my wife and I's first date. Granted, we were friends for a long time before this date, so let's not go thinking I was some kind of a freak. But I asked on the first date, I said, listen, if this is going to go into marriage, if I have a son, his name will be Ryan, after Ryan Sandberg, and my dad's name was Edward, so I named him Ryan Edward. And she agreed, and poof, we're working on year 12. So it was a sign.
Hey,
I'm saying.
Is that, Dooley, that's how you do it. You just lay the law down just like that on the first date, and if they don't like it, they don't like it. That was the fifth. By the way, that was the fifth woman he said that to.
I love that.
You know, you get what you do on eHarmony, man. This is kind of how I'm just kidding. That's not how it happened. Well, good stuff. So, you have a favorite song on this album, like one that just sticks out to you that you guys would say, and maybe best for, maybe different for both of you. Favorite album or favorite song? Excuse me. You guys, is there one that just sticks out that you like more than the others?
Oh man, there's this song.
All the ones I wrote.
Yeah.
I like it. Everyone else was trash. Mine were the best. I got it. Okay.
There's this song Hallelujah Amen on it's both on the Bright Faithful Future record and on the Planatarium EP, led by one of our worship leaders, John Guerra. That is just an amazing song of ascription to the Lord. Big fan of that one. John does this pretty amazing explanation of kind of where the song came from, talking about how the word hallelujah was a word that the Israelites basically made up. That was this is praise be to Yahweh. That we're not saying to any other gods or any other idols. We need to have a word that's just for Yahweh, and it was that word.
That's cool. What about you, man?
There's a song on the record called Yes, I Will, which is just a phenomenal song. Eddie, who I was talking about earlier, he wrote that with a couple of other guys on our writing team. And it's been amazing to see that song connect with the church, because you kind of just never know, when the Lord's just going to put his finger on a song and just be like, hey, this one, I want a lot of people to connect with this. Mm-hmm. Personally, the last track on the record, which is called Shelter, is a song that the first line of the song is right out of a psalm. It says, the arrows fly, 10,000 fall. Faithful through it all. And I think that's such a strong thing to say in a song, even though it won't necessarily make the masses, but we're not like I said at the beginning, we're not reaching for that really. It's all about the songs that really connect with our people at our church home.
Which is probably why you're reaching the masses. You're doing it for the right reasons, and it's reaching, it's reaching people. How big is Harvest Bible Church? Is the main campus in Chicago?
Yeah, we have 7 campuses that are part of our church. It covers about 13,000 people in the weekend.
So
wow,
Three.
wow, that's a.
Well, I feel like small potatoes sitting here. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Now you made Dooley feel bad about how big his church is.
Hey guys, we are late to a sound check.
Hey, Jake, we get that all the time. But all right, But by the way, excuse me, if you're just tuning in, I'm Mike. This is Dooley. We're Mike and Dooley. This is Jake, and this is Andy, and they're part of Vertical Worship, and
they're late to a sound check.
And they're late for a sound check. So let me say this: check out their new album. Everything on you guys is at your website at verticalofficial.com. Correct?
Yeah, that's right.
But go to verticalofficial.com. Check everything out. The new song, the new music is Planatarium EP, filmed at the Chicago Planetarium. I watched the videos today. Y'all need to go check it out. All right, Dooley. Anything else, Dooley?
Man, I got nothing. Fellas, this was an honor. We appreciate you taking some time. Go Cubs and forget the stinking Pirates. Man, y'all not going to win. Go Cubs, baby. And but fellas, we appreciate you joining us tonight and just sharing your heart with us a little bit, and nothing but prayers for success and to keep doing what you're doing in the future. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Guys. See you guys.
All right. God bless.
Take care.
Wait, now it's just me and you. Hold on. We're still live, though, so don't say anything inappropriate.
Huh? What? Huh? Hey, so we've had a bunch of people that popped on here and said hello to us, and I can't lie. I didn't want to stop them talking to say hello. So let's see. Susan Floyd Williams says, favorite and best song to listen to. Hey, I'm going to give you my 10 cents because they're gone.
I don't think they were asking us.
Well, Susan, did you want my opinion or did you want the actual people who wrote the song's opinion?
I think they were asking Jake and Andy. But let's go ahead.
I'm going to give you my opinion. My favorite song on the album is called Yes, I Will. I love it. My kids and I were singing it on the way in tonight, thinking I was going to be late to do this. So.
So you were getting prepared. All right, go ahead. Go.
Waylon Chastain said that would be an incredible experience. I'm guessing that doing it at the planetarium, the filming stuff at the planetarium. A close second is to be interviewed by Dooley. I think there is sarcasm in that, Mike. What do you think?
I think there is some sarcasm in there too. So his first, let me see the quote here. His first. That would be what would be being at the planetarium would be the incredible experience?
I would say the planetarium would be the incredible experience. And being interviewed by me was a close second, which I think was sheer mockery. But it's okay, Waylon, I still love you. I want you to know that. I love you dearly.
What about if you were interviewed whaling at the planetarium?
I think the next time we interview them, we should go to the planetarium in Chicago.
To the planetarium in Chicago? I think the Mike and Dooley budget's up for that. Sponsors out there. We better rattle off all the sponsors so that they could pay for us to get there.
Yeah, why don't you let me do this real quick. Jessica Brooks, hello. Lacey J. Villardo, hey, how we doing? Tracy Hedden, how are we doing? I think I got to everybody that I saw. Maggie Lowe, Valesco, how are we doing? Let's see, who else? Elsie Oakley said hello.
Yeah, somehow I cut these people off. I am not this is going to come as a surprise to you, but I am not a master of technology. However, you'll be happy to know that the 10,000 followers that I deleted, I think I'm getting them back now a little at a time. So also, man, where's my hold on here. I got something funny. Also,
breaking news. Dun, 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 dun. Keep going.
Well, everything is breaking news. So, new information. So, Mike and Dooley, you don't even know this. MikeandDooley.com now. No. Mike and Dooley's Facebook page. Our Facebook page now is our interviews, our Here We Go with Mike and Dooley, and the national stuff that you and I do together. That is what's on Mike and Dooley's Facebook page. Because what was happening is, and I saw that you did this in one of your Facebook posts, different people were getting, the right people weren't getting what we wanted them to get and to watch. I was having that issue Like you said, that thing you sent out about the 25 people. I think there's a lot of truth to that.
Well, I was told that was a massive hoax. I don't know if it's true or not. I'm apparently a part of a hoax.
But they had it on the Today Show yesterday that that they had these businesses that were on Facebook and kind of did what we do. And some of them were sponsored and making a boatload of money. And it sounds like Facebook now is putting more emphasis on individual pages than business pages. And they had gotten their reach cut down like to 25% of what it was. So I don't know what's going on. But now what we have is now what we have is it's going to be called Here We Go Highlands. You like that? Here We Go Highlands?
Boom.
Boom. It's going to be called Here We Go Highlands. So what I do is every morning for 5 or 10 minutes, I rattle off today's news, events, weather, and sports. So that's going to be at Here We Go Highlands. And then you're also going to have Mike and Dooley. So it'll be 2 separate Facebook pages.
I think that's phenomenal.
Whew, that was exhausting.
I think you're phenomenal.
But this is how good I'm not at technology. I said, okay, I'm going to call it Highlands Happenings with MD and Friends. So I do that. I change the name. 10 minutes later, I realize there's already a Highlands Happenings. So I got to go back in and change the name, but they won't let you change the name for a week. I am not good at that. What's going on since I got you? And that interview was pretty quick, so you and I can rattle off another 10 or 15 minutes. What's going on in the Dooley world?
Man, I just got back from supper, and I got stuck in traffic, sorry. And I didn't think I was going to get here in time for this interview, and I was quite bummed because I really wanted to be a part of this interview badly because I love vertical worship. I'm a fan. So that's what's going on, and now I'm going to go get kids ready for bed and get them ready for school in the morning because it's that time of year.
That's right. How's everybody adjusting?
We're adjusting. We're 3 weeks in, and we haven't killed anybody yet, we haven't killed our kids yet, and they've not been failed out of school yet. So I guess that's a win. Is that a win?
That's a win. And has it cooled down there in
Today it was a cool 87 degrees.
87? Did you have your hoodie on?
I wore my fleece PJs, and no, I will say this. I've mocked people my entire life who will say, "Oh, it's in the like the high 80s, low 90s. It feels cooler." Today was drastically cooler feeling than it has been in the past. So,
really, yeah. See what happens is when you are used to 95 or 100, and then all of a sudden it's 87, you're like, it's winter. Exactly. So when we come and see y'all this winter and head back up on the mountain, I am going to be freezing my tuchus off. Is what's going to be happening. Are the Dooleys making a trip to Highlands this winter? I want to write it down.
Yes, we're coming at Christmas. We will be there sometime, probably after the Christmas holiday.
Christmas.
All you fine people that we miss so much. So we will be there up on the mountain. So are we still doing our thing on Thursday night while we got everybody here?
Yeah, we got it. Or do you think we should do Saturday mornings? Thursdays.
I want to talk some college football and do some NFL prep Thursday night.
Okay, Thursday nights. All right, Thursday nights. We're doing Thursday nights. You're a busy man, so your schedule doesn't always permit for Thursday nights.
I know.
Which, by the way, where are you every morning at 8:15?
It's 7:15 here.
No. You're 8:15.
I'm getting kids ready for school. I'm getting late for school.
What time do you get into work?
About 9.
Oh, okay. Because I do that. Here We Go Highlands, but that's on it.
Well, if I'm Thursday night, Lacey Jane Villardo said Thursday night.
You could come on the show and you could just talk. It's only 5 minutes long.
If I get a chance and I see you on there, I will say, hey, buddy, my wife just came home.
All right, listen, I know you got to go, so I will let you go put your kitties to sleep. I miss you. I miss this.
Well, Mike Carrier, I love you. Facebook Live, I love you as well, and I miss you terribly.
I miss you. You had me at hello.
I'm rubbing my face in honor of you.
Hey, don't cry, shop girl.
This is for you, right?
Don't cry.
This is for you.
That's good. All right, I'll let you do the sign-off since you're so good at it.
All right. Well, Michael, I miss you, buddy, but we'll see everybody Thursday night, we'll do some NFL prep. We'll do some college football recap of week 1 and get ready for week 2. And we'll do that. Honey, Lacey Jane says hi. Hey, from our family to yours, we love you. We'll catch you Thursday night. Peace.
Bye.